All right, Josh is starting.
right.
Easiest.
We got easiest of the Big 12.
Easiest Big 12 schedules. So,
All right.
go ahead.
So we can start with third. I got the UCF Knights.
Yep. I had them also in there. Little honorable mention.
I think they got a pretty good slate that they had to turn out. Now, whether they do anything with it,
yeah,
that's not the point,
That's out of our control.
right? So here we go. UCF. They start off with Bethune-Cookman.
Yep.
The heck is that?
Don't know what that is.
Pittsburgh. That's a little bit more that I would be concerned about there.
It's a harder out of conference game, I'd agree.
They do. Georgia State, TCU. TCU is going to be pretty difficult.
At home, at least, I think.
But it is home. It is home versus them. At Houston, at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has been garbage.
By the way, congratulations, Houston, not a group of 6 team anymore, promoting themselves to the Big 12 and kind of killing it in the transfer portal.
They are. They're doing some work.
So they could be good, but they could also just be a group of 5 team in a Power 4 conference.
They do.
I don't know.
They do get a bye, and that bye is very, very crucial, I think, actually.
I agree.
They do get a bye right before BYU, which is huge, right? And I think bye placement's a monstrous thing when it comes to any schedules.
I would agree.
When it comes to this.
Their hardest game by far is against BYU, and it's at home after a bye.
Correct.
So that is massive for them.
They play Baylor at Kansas versus Arizona State. Arizona State's going to be pretty difficult. Versus Iowa State, but Arizona State is home.
Yeah, both those.
Home against Iowa State. Iowa State did lose half their team.
It's true.
So who knows where they're going to be at.
Poor Iowa State.
Anywhere. And then they finish off at Deion Sanders' house at Colorado. And I think that's a very favorable schedule with the bye lining up perfectly. Middle of the season, right before the biggest game of the year. I don't think you can ask for much more as a UCF Knight fan.
Yeah. I think that's a great take. The schedule I have here is, for my third, is Kansas State. I think they have a pretty easy schedule. They start out pretty easy with Nichols at home, Washington State at home, and Tulane at home. Tulane could be, sneaky difficult, but at least you have it at home. And then you go to Cincinnati, which, could be a hard game, but right after that you have a bye. And then you get Houston at home, Kansas at home. Your hardest game is probably looking at this next one. That's at Arizona State. So, but that's the thing. Like, if that's your hardest game, that means you don't play Texas Tech, you don't play Utah, you don't play BYU.
That's huge.
So
you avoided the big 3.
Exactly. So, in my opinion, the Big 12 consists of Texas Tech way up at the top,
tippy top.
And then just a small tier under is BYU, slightly over Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're avoiding those people, the next more difficult teams are Arizona State, Kansas State, I would say. But if you're avoiding those, I mean,
you're sitting pretty.
You're in a good
feeling
shape.
Good.
So after that, they go to Colorado. So 2 back-to-back road games that could give you some fits. But then you have Oklahoma State at home. You go to TCU, just normal Big 12, home against Arizona, and then at Iowa State. So if you just make it out alive at Arizona State, and then, I mean, that's your hardest game. And if you can take care of the rest of your games, you're looking pretty good. Avoiding the big boys on the schedule is always really nice.
I agree. I had them as my second as well.
Okay.
I think Kansas State has got a phenomenal schedule that's going to line up for them, avoiding every single person out there. I don't think Cincinnati is going to be as good as they were.
Yeah, unlikely.
Sorry. It's just unlikely. Even then, I'm looking at Arizona State here, and I'm like, who knows? They lost Sam Leavitt. I don't know how dominant they're going to be able to be.
Yeah, they've done pretty well every year, but
they've done decent.
I don't know how they're not been good enough long enough for me to really call them consistent.
Exactly. They had that one very good year with CTE, man.
Yeah, they did. But you know what? They had a decent year the next year.
They had a decent year next year with Sam.
I would say they're just a step above just some of these other Big 12 teams. I would say
maybe TCU.
TCU has always been. They're kind of fading since
that wonderful
destroyed
run.
in the national championship. I totally always forget TCU played in a national championship.
Correct.
Yeah, they probably try to forget it too. Okay,
I would. Go on. Move on to number 2. What we got?
Okay, my number 2. I had Utah.
Sure.
You'll notice a trend here. If you're, these top 3 schools, you can't play yourself, so that really helps. What really helps Utah is they don't play Texas Tech either. So they get Idaho at home, Arkansas at home. That is an SEC game, but like we've covered before, I mean, you get Arkansas. Maybe the worst SEC team at home as well.
Definitely
Yeah,
the worst.
Could still be a tough game, but at home against that's what you're looking for.
SECism.
Right. Well, this is the Big 12 we're talking about. And then we have Utah State. Then you have at Iowa State. All 4 of those games look really manageable, not really a problem. Then you get your bye. You get Kansas at home. You get Colorado away. I don't think Colorado's going to be very good. I don't think they've been good.
They have a quarterback. I'm trying to think of his name.
I'm glad.
Who's semi-decent.
Yeah, Deion can do
Maybe Deion can
things.
muster something up.
I mean, he's probably got more interesting stuff going on at that school than Kansas. So
True.
or Iowa State. Poor Iowa State. But at Colorado, you get Houston at home, and then at Cincinnati, and then you have BYU, the Holy War, but you get them at home.
Sure.
So that's pretty nice. It's a little concerning. There's this 4-game stretch. It's at Cincinnati, BYU at home, at Arizona, and then at TCU.
Okay.
That's 3 away games and then 1 game against BYU. So that's a little bit less than ideal. But if you're close to as good as you were last year as Utah, you're probably not really worrying about Cincinnati. Probably not about Arizona either. So, and then you finish the season with West Virginia. So yeah. I think I'm seeing, about 3 losses. But remember that they did lose their head coach. They lost a lot of players to Michigan.
Mr. Whittingham is gone.
So they could be a much worse team. Maybe a little bit lesser than BYU.
But the schedule itself, we're not arguing whether Utah is good or bad.
Well, I have to argue when I bring out a win total that could be good or bad. But
the schedule does line up.
The schedule, not too bad. But
I
you have number one.
Here's the number 1 schedule to have if you're in the Big 12, and it's the Texas Tech Raiders. How convenient that the number 1 team in the Big 12 has got the easiest schedule.
Shocking, really.
They start out with Abilene Christian. Good start. Then Oregon State, very easy as it is. Houston. Then they play their younger brother, Sam Houston. Then they play at Colorado, and then they get a bye. I mean, how do you not start on? You're going to start off undefeated so quickly there. There's 5-0.
Yeah.
You get the bye, and then you don't even avoid BYU. So you can argue your hardest game is after your bye of Arizona State.
Once again, I am agreeing. Texas Tech, their hardest game is Arizona State at home. Also, my number 1 easiest schedule. Not only is it Arizona State, so you don't play BYU, you don't play Utah, you don't play Kansas State.
Crazy.
So pretty much the hardest team you're going to play is Arizona State, and you get them at home, and you get them right after your bye. So
you got a home of Arizona State, away at Cincinnati, then you get a home at Arizona, home against West Virginia, at Oklahoma State, easy, at Baylor, could be a tester. Maybe that's a trap game. Maybe. And then home versus TCU. If you have Texas Tech with all the wonderful oil money, how are you not going undefeated?
I don't know. I said their floor is
How are you not going undefeated?
10, arguably 11.
11 wins.
This is a floor. So you're
11 wins.
You're saying crazy things happen, and then
if there's a win total out
TCU
there,
gets an absolutely crazy quarterback, and they just light it
lost
up.
Josh Hoover. It's gone.
Oklahoma State.
No. Don't even consider that.
They're out of conferences. Oregon State.
Don't even consider the Pac-12 being reignited again. Oh, no. No, the floor is 11 wins.
I would agree. I mean, they got to be in the playoff right now.
I would
pretty much.
Any single parlay I'm putting with the playoffs, it's Texas Tech is in there.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I would have to agree.
It's wild.
I will have to look at I'm really curious if they can't put the win total at 11.5. I mean, you just can't.
No, they
so
won't.
It's probably
It'll
at
be
10.5.
And I will take the over.
It might even be plus money to be over that.
I will take the over.
Really? Okay. We'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Let's move on. Let's move on to the hardest.
Wraps it up.
Who got screwed?
Easiest schedules, and now we move on. The hardest schedules.
Yeah, who got screwed out of this?
My honorable mention was Cincinnati, but I think you have them.
I do have Cincinnati as one of my hardest.
One of your top 3, so we'll skip that for now. I had Arizona.
Yep, that's one of mine.
One of yours as well. You know what? I'll skip that for now. I think you have them pretty high.
I have different ones.
Who do you have? How about you start? Hardest schedules in the Big 12.
Let's start off with Arizona. I think Arizona's a great place to start. I think they kind of got screwed out of this. So, granted, this is a Big 12 schedule.
Yeah,
Let's make that clear.
this is true.
This is not a Big 10 or an SEC schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But for a Big 12 schedule, this is kind of stinks. They start off with Northern Arizona, as they should. And then they just get busted in the jaw with BYU.
Week 2, that's rough.
That stinks. That's at BYU too. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt the morale a little bit off rip. Then they get home versus Northern Illinois, at Washington State. Fine. Then they get home versus Cincinnati. I think that's gonna be a difficult game for them.
For Arizona, it would be.
For Arizona, that's difficult. At West Virginia, Pat McAfee, proud. Who knows whether they're gonna put up a fight?
Maybe
or
game
like
days
that.
there. Maybe West Virginia, Arizona's the place to be that week.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, 0% chance. 7 on the boldness scale.
Then that is a 7.
Okay.
They get a bye week. That's nice. It's in the middle of the season. Then you can play against Iowa State, which is going to be one of their harder games to play, right, with BYU. But then they play Texas Tech at Texas Tech.
Ooh.
They're going to get slaughtered there. That's not going to be fun for them.
And then another Texas team.
Then another TCU team coming in that could be better, could be improved. Who knows? I know Josh Hoover just left, but they could be improved. They've proven that they can be good, right? Then they play Utah. I mean, there's chances for 4 losses in a row right there. Then you play at Kansas State.
That's painful. At least their last game's easy.
Oh, yeah. Then you play Arizona State. I don't know how you look at that last half of the schedule and go, wow, you kind of got screwed.
I would say
I mean, that's brutal.
they're totally playing
That's brutal.
for the top 5 teams in the conference that they can play. For the top 6.
Brutal.
To end their season. And the one that's not is TCU. Not even a pushover.
Not even a pushover. Brutal.
That is rough.
Who do you got?
For my number 2, is Kansas. So here's my reasoning behind this. One of our viewers, claimed in a bold prediction that maybe Kansas would win the Big 12. And we went through their schedule, and it was looking not so great. Now looking at the other Big 12 schedules, not so great. Now, the biggest reason the schedule is bad is because they play Missouri. Now, that's not a Big 12 game, so maybe that hope is still alive. It doesn't matter if you get an at-large bid for our viewers' bold prediction, just that they win the Big 12. However, we're looking at LIU. I don't even know what that is. Week 2, Missouri. So that's a little bit painful. You get Arizona State in London. I don't know what that's
They're
about.
going to London?
I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy.
So you
Why?
play Missouri, and then 7 days later, you're in London playing one of your harder,
That's a harder
difficult
team.
is Arizona State. So neutral site, and then you have your bye. Maybe it's good that you get your bye right after London, but then again, that's in week 4. So you
that's
have
a week 4 bye. Oof.
You have
That's
9 games
there.
to end the season in a row.
Yeah, that's tough.
Luckily, you get a little bit more of an extended break when you play Middle Tennessee the next week,
Oh,
which is nice.
a directional school.
Yeah, directional schools not so
good.
good. What's the best directional school?
North Dakota?
That should be a different segment. That'd be kind of fun. Okay. Pinning that. Continuing on. They have at Utah, at Kansas State, Baylor, at TCU. Those 4 games is kind of a gauntlet.
That is a gauntlet right
away
there.
against Utah and Kansas State. That's probably
That's a
gonna
gauntlet.
Probably going to be 2 losses unless you're a really good Kansas team. Then maybe a break against Baylor, and then you're at TCU. Could be hard, could be easy. Luckily, you get UCF at home, at West Virginia. Those aren't quite as difficult, but then
that's all right.
you play BYU.
Ouch.
I would say the only thing working for this schedule is that they don't play Texas Tech.
yeah, they don't.
So,
that's nice.
you know what? That's a really big win. But other than that, and you know what? They just replaced them with Missouri, and then you could just call it a real difficult schedule.
Yeah.
Not a Big 12 game. Maybe they have hope. Probably not. And the season at Oklahoma State. Maybe you'll feel better by yourself, but if you don't,
True.
you're gonna be in trouble. That was my number 2.
Ready for my number 2?
Yes, go ahead.
You know what that same viewer said?
What they say?
They also hope that Brendan Sorsby will flop
Yeah, quite.
at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Well, I think he got out of Cincinnati at the right time.
I see.
I have Cincinnati as my number 2 hardest schedule. And for good reason, too. They can play against Boston College, which is fine. I mean, they should be able to manage that. Western Carolina, another directional school. They play Miami of Ohio. At least it's not the basketball team.
Thank goodness, yeah.
Thank goodness, or else they would get crushed. But then they go play Kansas State. Difficult. At Arizona. Could be difficult since it's away too. Not ideal. That's quite the long travel for a UC Bearcat.
Yeah.
Then they get a bye. Nice. Then they play at West Virginia. Meh. Then they go play Texas Tech. And I think they're about to get slaughtered. Again, by their ex-quarterback. So not only will they lose to that, but they're going to lose to their, ex.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He's going to come out firing. Then you're going to go play Utah after just getting slaughtered. Then you get a break at Houston. But
Maybe a break.
Maybe. Portal. Who knows? Maybe they're in the works.
I think Houston has better chance of being a better team than they have better national championship odds than Iowa State, than Colorado.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, crazy.
Then they go play at Iowa State. That's going to be a battle. Versus Colorado. Dion doing Dion things. Who knows? And then they go play BYU at the end. And then they're going to end their season on a loss.
Yeah. So the thing about this schedule, I would say the only thing that is kind of helping them is they have their bye and then they're at West Virginia. Not too difficult of games. You can kind of focus
For sure.
for Texas Tech and Utah, which are both at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're my honorable mention. I'm hoping, as a pseudo, maybe kind of a UC fan, maybe they'll do well there. But I'm going to be honest with you. Do you know what I've realized
This is not looking good.
about UC over the last about 4 years? Especially last year. They can start really strong, and then if they lose that game to Texas Tech, to their ex, I mean, they could lose every single game.
They will lose every single game.
They could lose
after that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row at the end of
And
their
you
schedule.
get slaughtered by BYU at
And
the end.
That would just be so sad.
What a bad taste in your mouth if you're a UC Bearcat fan.
I think they totally could be, well,
if you think about it.
I think they have a really good chance of being 5-1 when they go toe-to-toe
1,
with
2,
Texas
3.
Tech in Nippert Stadium. But
what's nice about this schedule, and I will say that they do have some more definitive wins. I'm pretty sure, I'm confident they're going to win. But their losses, they're going to lose.
yeah, they're kind of stuck in the middle, and we know what
They're
Utah
going to lose.
did to them. It's not good.
Rough.
Well, I'll talk about what I think is my hardest schedule right here.
Okay.
I have Colorado's schedule.
Oh, wow.
And this is a little controversial, but I'll try to explain to you why. Here's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
They go to Georgia Tech
Sure.
to start the season. Not an easy game.
No, that's quite the haul.
Not an easy game. You're going away, Georgia Tech, first game of the season. Not that easy.
Not what you
Then you
want.
play Weber State,
Yeah, that's fine.
luckily. Then you're at Northwestern. Now, Josh doesn't think Northwestern is very good. Here's the thing. It's at Northwestern. Here's the thing about Northwestern. You're playing Northwestern in week 3. Do you know what that means? They are rested up, baby. They are coming off a bye. Northwestern's one bye is in week 2. So if there's one game that Northwestern can win, it's got to be their week 3 game. Their week 3 game's at home too. So man, if I'm a Northwestern fan, I am gunning.
This is your Super Bowl right here.
I'm taking full advantage of a week 2 bye. And I am going to destroy Colorado in our home janky stadium. Actually, I think that's going to be the first game they play in their new stadium.
I have no idea.
Or something. I don't know.
It's Northwestern.
The point is, I think Northwestern wins this game. I don't see why not.
Maybe.
They got all the rest in the world.
We can't be
They're gonna be
confident with that.
And then they go at Baylor. So just to recap here, they go at Baylor and then they get the fabled Texas Tech.
Woo!
But then
Love
they get a
Texas
bye
Tech.
to recoup and recover, which is real needed because your next game is Utah.
Oof.
So let's just recap here. They got at Northwestern, which I think is beautiful. Another away game at Baylor.
Oof.
Home against Texas Tech. You do get a bye, and then you have Utah. At this point, I think they're going to be defeated. They're going to be...
They're donezo. They're donezo.
You know these profile of people that are playing for Dion and,
Yeah, it's not ideal.
I don't know. He kind of like promotes resilience and stuff, but he also just kind of attracts the people who kind of care about themselves, and that's
His son is in the Hall of Fame
that's why you retire your own son's jersey.
for like
I
2
mean,
games above 500.
the school did. I think his career record is like about 500.
I think it's
A
like
little
2
bit
games above 500. That's it.
Yeah, 4-8 season, and then a little bit better season. I don't know.
Yeah, but Sanders
Anyways.
was the name of the back.
I think they're gonna be beaten down. They got at Oklahoma State,
Sure.
and then you get still the next 2 best teams. They don't play BYU, but they get Kansas State at home and then at Arizona State.
Oof.
Yeah, and if that wasn't enough, you still don't even get any bottom feeder teams, because I think Houston will be a little bit better than the bottom,
You think so?
just a little bit.
Okay.
Like I don't think they're gonna be the worst Big 12 team. And then you have at Cincinnati.
Maybe that's a pending segment.
Same thing. At Cincinnati, are they going to be good? Maybe, maybe not. We just established that
We just
Cincinnati's going to be
established that-
so sad at this point. They
Yeah,
could very well lose this
They
game.
could lose that game.
But, I mean, you have UCF at home to end the year.
In theory.
You could be so beaten down that you really don't care about this game.
They were once a national champion.
Yeah, I know, crazy. Oh, yeah, they were, according to them.
According to them.
Yeah. Well, they could be a good team. You get UCF at home. If Colorado somehow has 5 wins at this point, then maybe they'll play really hard to get into a bowl game. But
Bowl.
then again, who cares about bowl games anymore?
Not me.
Apparently not a lot of people. I still think they're fun.
Ready for my hardest?
I am ready.
Here is the last hardest one. I would say probably one of the hardest. I would say TCU.
Really?
I think they got a difficult schedule. They start off with North Carolina, which with Bill Belichick, maybe he starts picking it up.
Hey, maybe the phrase next year is going to be Bill Belichick year 2.
Maybe he picks it up.
I highly doubt it.
Then you ready for this?
Okay.
Bye.
Really? No way they did that. Oh, man. Wow.
They get a bye week 2, just like Northwestern.
No way. Wow. I did not see that. Well, that's pretty rough.
But at least they get to play Grambling afterwards.
Okay. So, like, half a bye.
And then Arkansas State,
Okay.
another bye.
Half a bye.
Okay. Right?
So they have 2 byes in 4 weeks.
2 byes in 4 weeks.
Right.
There we go. Now they go play UCF. This is why. That makes sense. They played week 0.
Oh, so they get 2 byes.
They get 2 byes.
Okay.
So still, they get 3 byes, really.
Yeah, I see.
And then they go play UCF, but then they go play BYU. That
Really?
sucks. That's
Yeah.
tough. Then they get another bye. And then I think it's this last half.
Oh,
that
so they
makes me
have
kill
they
me.
have their bye already in like week
Oh, it's
like
still
6?
early.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
you
still
still-
early.
interesting.
But this is the back half that I think kills. At Baylor, home versus West Virginia, home versus Kansas. At Arizona, home versus Kansas State, versus Utah, home versus Utah. At Texas Tech.
Ooh.
There's not a bottom feeder team on there. You can't rest.
I think those last 3 games are especially going to be just
Those
real
last 3 games,
demoralizing.
that's an 0-3.
Looks like home against Kansas State,
Home versus Utah.
home versus Utah,
At Texas
Tech. That'd be rough.
I mean,
I think if
those are not bottom feeder teams.
no.
The moment you take off, if you don't bring your A game for at least for one of them, they will catch you.
I see.
And as for this schedule, for being a TCU fan, if you want any aspirations of getting to the playoffs, you got to go at least
You got to win like every game.
every game besides Texas Tech.
Yeah. I was going to say at least win every game, probably including BYU until you're bye, and then
Oh no, you got to win BYU.
lose one. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they can. You can have 2 conference losses, and
Maybe.
as long as Texas Tech takes out the trash and wins every single one of their games, then there
for
could
sure.
be a couple teams with 2 losses in the Big 12.
For sure.
So
So that wraps up my hardest schedule.
yeah, that wraps up our assessment of the Big 12 schedules. Quite interesting.